So welcome to Culinary Alchemy. Today's my second show, and as you can see, I've already changed the name to give it a little bit more of a magical sounding twist. Today we're going to be making some peanut butter brownies with a very, very delicious chocolate ganache frosting. And we're going to be turning some ordinary ingredients into an extraordinary delight. It's a very simple recipe. Anybody at home can do it in the blink of an eye. So all you need to do is to gather your basic ingredients. You need some butter, unsalted, for baking, and some sugar, some peanut butter, smooth and creamy. We also need a couple of eggs and an egg yolk, some vanilla extract, some flour, and some chocolate chips. So before we get into measuring ingredients or anything else, you need to preheat your oven to 350 degrees. After you gather your ingredients, you need to get down to measuring them. Before you can do so, you need to make sure you take your 2 sticks of butter out ahead of time so that it comes to room temp. So you'll need your 2 sticks of unsalted butter, 1 3/4 cups of sugar, 2 eggs and an egg yolk mixed with 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract, 1 cup of creamy peanut butter, 1 1/2 cups of semi-sweet chocolate chips, and 2 cups of flour. After you've gathered and measured your ingredients, you need to take your softened butter, put it into your electric mixer. Make sure that you get all of the butter scraped off of the paper here. You don't want to leave any of that good butter left behind. And you need to add your 1 3/4 cups of sugar to the electric mixer with the butter. You may also choose to use electric beaters if you prefer, or if you don't have a freestanding electric mixer at home. What we're going to do is we're going to beat the butter and sugar until it's very light and fluffy. With the freestanding mixer, it takes about 2 to 3 minutes. With an electric mixer, it might take just a touch longer than that. You want to make sure that you mix it on medium-high. So 3 minutes is up, and this is what the butter and sugar looks like. Very light in color and very airy. Once you have that texture, you're going to add you're going to snap your bowl back onto your mixer, and you're going to add your smooth and creamy peanut butter to the egg and sugar mixture. Excuse me, I'm a loud banger with my spatula, so I apologize for that noise. And when all the peanut butter is in your bowl, you're going to turn your machine back on, still on medium-high, and you're going to mix the butter, sugar, and now peanut butter mixture until the peanut butter is fully incorporated into the butter and sugar. And this should take about another minute longer. After the peanut butter is incorporated into the butter and sugar mixture, I like to make sure that I fully scrape the bowl, the sides of the bowl and the bottom of the bowl, to make sure that everything is extremely well mixed. That also helps the texture of the brownies or bars or cake that you happen to be making at the time. In this case, peanut butter brownies. And then I add the 2 eggs, egg yolk, and vanilla into the peanut butter mixture. And we're going to turn the machine on yet again to medium-high, and we're going to beat the eggs into the mixture until they too are fully incorporated for about another minute or so. So once the eggs are fully incorporated into your peanut butter sugar butter mixture, you're going to add the flour into the mixture all at once. Give it another little extra magic bang. And you're going to now reduce the speed to low, and you're going to mix the flour in just until it's combined. You want to be very careful to watch this at all times, because if you overmix it, it can make the texture very tough. As soon as you see the first particles mixed in, you want to turn the machine off. Take the bowl off, scrape down the sides of your paddle or whisk, whichever one you are using, freestanding mixer, I like to use the paddle attachment. Get all of the batter off of the paddle here. And we're going to incorporate the last little remaining particles of flour by hand. Okay, almost got it all off here. If no one's looking, you can save the batter on the paddle here for a little bit of finger licking behind closed doors. And we're going to just get the last little bits fully mixed in there, and then add our chocolate chips into the bowl and stir those in by hand. So our last ingredient are 1.5 cups of chocolate chips going in right now and getting stirred in by hand. And you want to give this a nice gentle stir, but make sure to stir them in fully so that they get evenly distributed into the batter. This takes just a few minutes here, maybe not even that long. Give a little extra muscle power stir. And voila, there's your batter, which we're now going to put into our, I did forget to mention the one piece of equipment that you would need, which is a 9 by 13 inch baking pan. And you want to butter your pan first and put a thin layer of parchment on it, and then butter the parchment before baking, and that will help prevent the bars from sticking when you go to cut them later. So we're going to take our batter, we're going to put it into our pan here. Our 9 by 13 pan. Almost at the bottom. I can see the end of the tunnel. And we're going to take either the spatula, the plastic spatula, rubber spatula that you were using to mix and stir with, or if you have an offset spatula, that works nicely too. I will show you what one of those looks like. And we're going to spread the batter in the pan, make it a nice even layer. You should always be gentle, but you don't have to be extremely gentle with brownies. They're pretty hardy and foolproof. You just want to get a nice even layer so that they don't bake up lopsided. And I like to rotate the pan when I spread it. Sometimes I'll go on a diagonal from corner to corner first to make sure you get the corners. So once you have your batter spread in the pan, you're going to put it into your 350-degree oven on the center rack, preferably. And you're going to bake it for about 40 to 45 minutes until it's a nice golden brown and a pick inserted in the center comes out clean. So one thing that I like to do is to have a quick peek at my brownies just shortly before they're done to see how they're doing, because everybody's oven cooks a little bit differently. Mine tends to cook on the fast side, and they do look done. So I'm going to test them with my handy dandy pick here, see if it comes out clean when I poke it into the center, and it does. It's also a really nice golden brown on top, as you can see. And I like to use a metal skewer to poke it with, but you can also use a toothpick or a knife. Knife isn't the best choice just because it makes a little bit of a deeper incision, so I try to steer away from that. And now we're ready to let them cool. It takes about an hour and a half for that process to happen. You want to make certain that they're fully cool, otherwise when you go to frost them later on, it'll be a ooey gooey mess. And in the meantime, as you can see, while I was waiting for my brownies to come out of the oven, I took the time to tidy up the kitchen for the next phase.